So let today be the last day that you ever doubt Black trans power.
Never forget and say their name.
Never forget and say their name.
Let's go, y'all.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Say no to it, police. No justice, no peace. 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 No justice, no justice, no justice.
In this work. I would just like to remind everyone that this meeting is going to be recorded. For those of us who cannot be on the call tonight, our organizer and leader of the protest, Mary Morris, will be joining us momentarily. She's having some technology issues. And we all know with the Zoom, having been on Zoom quite a bit, that technology can be wacky-dacky at times. Am I right? So Mary will be joining us shortly. And in the meantime, we're going to begin. So we welcome you to our virtual Black Lives Matter protest. We are here and we are together. So we're just going to ground ourselves by taking a deep breath. So I'd like to invite everyone, wherever you're calling in from today, to take this hand and put it on your heart. And then take the other and place it on your stomach. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And I want you to breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. And again, breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And for this last breath, I want you to breathe in an intention. There's a reason why you arrived here in this space at this time tonight. So breathe that in. And hold it within you. And allow that intention to go all throughout your body, from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. And feel that energy inside of you, that intention. What needs to happen? And now slowly, we shall release. And once again, it is my honor to introduce you to protest leader and sister, Mary Elizabeth Morris. Mary, are you ready?
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Please bear with me this evening as my Wi-Fi has completely shut down and I'm working on hotspot. It is interesting as we fight for justice and activism in these times, the ways in which things work, but we know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. We will continue in this fight. We will continue being active together. And just really quick check in with Adam. So we've gone through tech support already in regards to the evening, and we did a welcome, just so I don't repeat anything.
So far, Mary, we've taken time to breathe together. So if you like, you're welcome to talk about a little bit of tech, and then we can begin.
Great, great. And so again, welcome you all to the Black Lives Matter virtual protest. Before we begin, we'll go over a few quick tech spiels. So for the duration of this call, please make sure to use Zoom's gallery view. On the upper right corner of the screen, you'll click the toggle between speaker view and gallery view. And so you always want to make sure you're on gallery view, and this will allow us to see each other in a grid pattern. We also request that you change your settings to hide non-video participants. If you're on a computer, you'll see 3 dots on the upper right-hand corner of your video. You'll click to see the drop-down option. And I believe if you're in the mobile app, you'll click the 3 dots or more button at the bottom right corner of the screen to view this option. And just please continue to stay engaged as different times during the protest. Facilitators will invite you to turn your cameras on and off, so be ready for that, as well as engaging in the raise hand option. As our facilitators have carved out space for participation, please be mindful of when you're staying muted and when you're not speaking. And lastly, we ask that if you're on multiple devices in the same room, to keep all but one muted to avoid feedback or echoes. And if you have any questions about this or would like extra support, please feel free to reach out to our protest support, and they are listed as such. If you were to choose participants, you'll be able to find them there. All right, and so now as we begin to transition into this space of activism, I recognize that as a community and individually, we're holding a lot. The ways in which racism, anti-Blackness, and the modern lynching of Black folks has generated historical, generational, and present trauma, and it's no small matter. Our fight toward anti-racism is a revolution, and we must take care of ourselves this evening. And so before we begin, now that we've done the text spiel, I'll invite us again to take one more centering breath. So I invite you to ground yourself. If you're on a ground or floor, begin to place your 2 feet there and ground yourself. I invite you to take one hand and place it over your heart center. Another hand and place it over your belly. And if it feels comfortable or right for you, I invite you to close your eyes or find a low gaze at the floor. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling, breathing in that we're here tonight. We're here together, active, centering Black voices, unapologetically saying Black lives matter, that all Black lives matter. That means unequivocally fighting for Black women and Black trans folks. This is our fight. We take care of each other. We stand together. We fight together. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. And as you begin to return to this space, our space, remember that this is our fight. Now let's get to work, y'all. So, jumping right in, moving right along, our first protest leader of the evening is going to continue cultivating and galvanizing us in this space, and this person will be Zara Warner. They will guide us on a journey named Worthy, a ritual for this moment. And just as another reminder, to remain on mute unless guided to do so otherwise by our protest leader, and you will also remain in gallery view. Let us answer the call as Zara comes forth.
Good evening, beautiful people. Thank you so much for being here. I welcome you into this space with a full heart, and I want to remind you that this is a space of expression. And so my guidelines this evening are to utilize the chat as much as is possible, but if you are so moved and it is a need within you, I welcome you to speak aloud in answer to the calls. This ritual is based on a lot of the Yoruba traditions and ancient African traditions that are very steeped in the culture of my birthplace, Jamaica, which is where I'm joining you from today. And it's really about acknowledging the forces that are always present with us, whether or not they are named. And we are taking the opportunity to name them now, thereby either giving them power or taking away their power. And the first thing I'd like to invite us to do is to take another one of those delicious, life-affirming breaths, because India Arie says that in this time, that's what your heart is for. It's what enables you to continue to move and to fight. And so I welcome you now to take a breath in and out. Beautiful. And whatever movement or sound feels good to go with that, please incorporate it. Let's try that one more time for anybody just joining us. Take a breath in and out. We are breathing in our intentions and we are breathing out the things that do not serve us. Yes, please, Jess. I invite you now to play the sound that will support us.
Here we are.
So we are now calling up. If you wouldn't mind just lowering the sound a little bit so we can hear each other or I can stay present. We are calling out the things that divide us. We're calling out the forces that seek to disable us, to dis-ease us. We are calling out those things that seek to undermine everything that we are working towards. So I invite you to write those things, to say those things now. I will begin. I am calling out the inherent prejudice which we all carry with us. Calling it out. I invite you to call anything else out that you think is pertinent in this moment.
I'm calling for racism in academia.
Yes, white supremacy. Thank you, Jade. Calling out anything else that does not serve us, invalidations of my lived experience. Thank you, Jasmine. Assimilation and segregation. Thank you, Meredith. Sexism. Thank you, Tiffany. Racism in academia. Thank you, Jordan. Defensiveness. Thank you, Krista. White fragility. Thank you, Annie. Fear of the unknown. Thank you, Susie. Homophobia and transphobia. Thank you, Dana. Misinformation. Thank you, Alexis. Respectability politics. Thank you, Roxy. Having to take care of fragile whiteness. Thank you, Amber. The patriarchy. Thank you, Elena. Unproductive white guilt. Thank you, Darcy. Xenophobia. Thank you, Ming. Prisons, and I'm going to lose some of these, but I apologize. Alexis, thank you for your capitalism, individual. Desperate Black Boys, thank you, Jordan. White guilt. Thank you, Adam. Capitalism, citizen. Thank you, Lucy. Jessica, thank you for your colonization, capitalism, and embodying shame. Thank you, Erin. Implicit bias, Rika, and internalized. Thank you. Incapacity, citizen discomfort. Thank you, White Jesus. Thank you, Darcy. And I invite you to continue to call those out. And at the same time, because it is always yes, and we are calling in the acknowledgement of collective history, the acknowledgement of the things which bind us, the things which have given us strength and sustenance as we have done this work, as we have walked this walk. And in particular, we are calling in our personal and collective ancestors. In this space, they are the ones that we get our wisdom from. They are the ones that give us a sense of having been here before, but not wanting to be here again. So we are calling in our mutual destiny. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We're calling in storytelling. Thank you. We are calling in art, not seeking knowledge. Yes. Yes, we're calling it out. We're calling in shared humanity. We're calling it Ida B. Wells. Yes, thank you. We're calling in Martin Luther King. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Dan Haywood. Thank you, Karima Dillard. Thank you. Calling in embodied presence, calling in all of these. Thank you, Marsha P. Thank you. Thank you, love and inclusivity. Thank you, Dr. Eugene Christian. Thank you, Black Nation. Thank you, Strength and Community. Thank you, Black Stories. Thank you, Collaboration. Thank you, the hope that changes people. Thank you, for calling you out. Thank you, Dr. Ruth DeGroy. Other names, any other names, we're calling them into this space. We're calling on, thank you, Toni Morrison. Thank you. Yes, humanity. Yes, David. Yes, yes, Van Gogh. Thank you. Thank you, Sojourner Truth. Thank you, Bell Hooks. Thank you, Dorothy Irene. Thank you. We are calling on that strength out there, that strength, but also that vulnerability, that humanity that we are so dependent on in this moment. Yes, all our ancestors across the diaspora, we call on you. We call in the things that we need from you because we acknowledge that we are our ancestors. We hold those things. Yes, Nina Simone. Yes, Sonia Taylor. We are calling in these things and we are holding them close to us. I would like to offer this moment. Yes, 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 intergenerational. Yes, I'm going to ask now that we lower this music, this beautiful holding music that speaks to that interconnectedness. It's from an album called Distant Relatives, which is by Damian Marley and Nas, who many of us are familiar with, and they're giants in their own right. We are giants in our own right. And so I'm inviting us to link spirits and link hands as we continue to walk forward. I'm going to offer a song now which serves as a container for the things which we are claiming. So those integral and absolutely essential things that our ancestors hold for us, both personal and collective, that we would like to carry forth. And we are also claiming the things which we have come to fight for, the things that we are going to continue to speak about throughout the course of this beautiful process, but which we want to call in now as we do this. So I will begin, and as we get into the chant portion, which is we claiming or we claim it, I invite you to speak or write the things which you are claiming in this moment. We've been here before, here before, here before, but this is not where we shall end. We've been here before, here before, here before, but now we claim a new beginning. But now we claim a new beginning. We claiming, we claiming, we claiming. Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming our power. We claiming love and unity. We claiming Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming our lives. We claiming Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming our color. We're claiming co-conspiratorship. We're claiming Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming creativity. We're claiming our beautiful Black bodies. We're claiming Ashe, Ashe, oh, we're claiming financial freedom and accepting voice in the NADTA, our land, community love, our knowledge and power, our freedom, imaginative creation. Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming generational wealth, courage, our breath, strength, breaking barriers, the pursuit of peace and happiness, our stories, the joy. Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming the ability to play, growth, connection. If you have any voices to add to this song, please feel free to unmute and add your voice as we sing. Ashe, Ashe, oh, our right to breathe, hope, abundance of community. We claiming dance and ritual, unconditional compassion. Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming our space, healing, the safety of our children, love, endurance. Ashe, Ashe, oh, we claiming transformation, resilience, healing, strength, truth. I hear you, please. We claim, yes, we claim. Ashe, Ashe, Lord. Ashe, Ashe, oh.
Ashe, Ashe, oh.
Ashe, Ashe, Lord.
Ashe, Ashe, oh.
We claim, we claim, We're claiming.
We claim it.
We're
Claim it.
We're
Claim it.
claiming.
Just see you. Keep claiming. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to invite us to come back to ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for bringing your voices into the space. I hear you. I feel you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would just like to close with a demand as we move forward. We are worthy of the justice, equity, and celebration that honors our divinity. We demand these things and more. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Blessings.
Ashe, Zara, thank you. And we love you right back. Thank you for reminding us what we're calling in and what we're claiming, reminding us of our worth and reminding us that we are enough during these times. It can be so difficult to be filled up with what we're calling out, to be filled up with oppression, to be filled up with these opposing forces, that they begin to weigh us down, that we aren't reminded of that rich legacy of ancestry and the beauty of where we come from. So thank you for that reminder. And I also recognize that it's possible to hold both. We can know our worth, and at the same time, we can also hold the feeling of feeling like we're feeling like 3/5 again, the feeling that our society can't love one another. And so I recognize that the ambivalence of that is tough to hold. And so though we've claimed our attentions, we've breathed and arrived, some folks still may be holding things. And so I want to check in with the group. This is a space to release, share with the community, to be seen, validated, and heard, which we've seen so lovely in the chat already. And so I invite you all to offer responses in the chat of how you're doing or what you're holding and what you need right now, so that we can reflect to each other, share space, and feel validated together. And it can be a one-word response, a phrase, a metaphor. I need more patience with myself and others. I'm holding compassion for myself. Yes, I'm going to hold some of that too. Just love in the space. Gentleness for myself. So important during these times, that we don't burn out, that we don't feel the need to constantly stand on the front lines. I would like for the NADTA as a whole to create a reparative experience for all of the Black clinicians who have been ostracized from the community for raising their voices. Yes, that is so important and so necessary. Thank you, Amber. I need to have more confidence in what I'm created to do. Yes, Tiffany, you are enough, you're here. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. Come on now, all right. Thank you, Amber, again. Shifting my focus to listening and understanding. Yes, the importance of active listening. Allowing myself to be held and supported as much as I offer holding and support to others. Yes, Whitney, and we are here to hold you and support you. Holding the collective spirit, we claim it. I need to be accepted for my in-betweenness and not to have to be expected to pick sides and systems. Being able to hold all your identities unapologetically. And I also recognize that sometimes a phrase or one word in the chat may not be enough. Sometimes what we're holding is heavy, and the way that we may need to release is verbally or through sound or through movement. And so I invite right now, of course, centering Black voices first, that if there are one or two reflections from folks who need to come forth, who feel like they're holding something that is too heavy in this moment and are asking for the community to hold it with them. I invite you to come forth, to unmute yourself and share with the community. And also feel free to keep things coming in the chat. If there are more check-ins that are need to be had. And if it feels right, and so did I hear someone coming?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Michelle. Yeah, I'm really grateful, that this has been called forward and that we could all be here to hold space, because since everything's been happening, I have such a heaviness I've been carrying because in 2002, my nephew was murdered and 17 bullets were shot into him. And to this day, it remains unsolved. And so when all of this, with George Floyd and everybody, everything that's been happening, I've just been carrying this heaviness in my heart because, I feel as though as a Black body, he doesn't matter. That, with all the evidence, it still can't be solved. And as a family, I've never spoken about this out like this, but as a family, we didn't say anything. We remained silent. And I realized it was like a shame that we felt because of what they may label him. And so this space here that we can come together and all hold, and I said there's a sweet, sweet spirit. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. And I just felt it. And I just felt like, yes, that we can come together to sort of lay down our burdens together. And I'm really grateful for that. And I feel that piece of healing happening and starting to chur inside of me. So, I'm really grateful, really grateful.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing vulnerability and revealing the harshness, the rawness of our society. And it's not just about the police brutality, but it expands to the larger institution of policing as a whole. And when we're expecting them to support us and help us to solve such horrific murders as those, where are they? Where is our support in the Black community? So we are sending you so much love. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your truth. And also thank you for reminding us of that sweet, sweet spirit in this place. Thank you for planting that seed of hope in us that when troubled waters do arise, we will ride this wave together, that we will press on. So we thank you for your gift, for your story, and we are sending you and your family so much love. And may his legacy carry on, and may he continue to live in you. Let's just take a moment to breathe. Breathing in the sweet, sweet spirit of this place. Breathing in the warmth, bringing in the change, the dawn and the breaking of a new day. With that warmth, we will continue fueling the fire of activism, and we will be passing the torch on to Jade Johnson and Whitney Bell, who will guide you in locating the self and the ways in which you show up. In the beginning of their protest lead, we will remain on mute and off camera, continuing to remain in gallery view and hiding non-video participants until our protest leaders are ready for us to transition. So let's stand alongside Whitney and Jade as they invite us to show up and engage in this internal part of the fight.
Hello, everyone. Hello. So Jade and I just want to further ground us in this process. So we're going to do a short but hopefully very meaningful grounding meditative exercise. So we're going to ask that those that feel comfortable close their eyes. If you are not comfortable, you can find a soft gaze on the floor. And I ask you to just walk with us in your mind's eye. Imagine that we are walking onto a mountaintop together in the middle of the night, and we look up and see stars, so many stars that are shining brighter than we've ever seen them before. And as you look up at the stars, you see the people who have brought you to this point. For some of us, that is our ancestors. For some of us, it is those that we have lost in this fight. For some of us, it is our clients, past, present, future, our children, our family members, our friends, our loved ones. And as you look up in the stars, you start to hear them whispering a message, the one that you need to hear right now. And as you take in this message from the stars, I invite you to return to your intention. It may be the intention that you set earlier on this call. It may be a new intention that has come to you. And once you feel and hear that intention in your heart, you suddenly start to notice the stars are dancing. The stars are dancing, and they're dancing their way onto your skin. They are wrapping you in their warmth, in their light. And as the stars surround you, as that light surrounds you, it begins to transform you. It begins to transform you into the person that you need to be in order to engage in this work. So whether those stars are light or love or peace or grace or courage, whatever you need, feel yourself wrapped in what you need, shifting into the person, into the role that you need to step into the role that will support you on this journey. And as that role, whether that be the warrior, the survivor, whatever comes into your heart, as you land on that role, I invite you to slowly open your eyes and return back to the space with us.
My invitation to you all is to turn your cameras back on, and as you do so with the intention in your heart, with that role in your mind and in your heart, as you are holding those roles, I'm going to ask each of you to sculpt, to do a frozen picture of what that role is. And you might find yourself looking around on your screen, but I'm gonna ask you to turn intention back onto yourself and to really think about how that role holds you and how you want to show up in that role. Here on this call, for your clients, in your communities.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I'm gonna ask you to keep holding those roles. And now I'm gonna ask you to think of a line speaking from the role that you're presently in. What would that role say? And while you are still on mute, I'm gonna ask you to say out loud what your role is saying. Beautiful.
Yes, we want to invite everyone, if it feels comfortable and you want to contribute to the group, what role you found yourself in, or what that message, what that role would say, you're welcome to type it into the chat. If it feels like something that you need to keep for yourself, we ask that you honor yourself by doing that and participate in this in the way that feels right. And as people are typing into the chat, Jade and I will just read off some of them as we see them come up. Fighter, I can be strong. Fool, I see pain and joy. Surgeon, feel free to open up.
Wild woman, I reclaim your instinct.
Presence, I will not turn away.
Mother, I am here.
The free one, I am unchained.
Uplift, I will rise higher. Rise you higher.
Lightning, I embody both light and power.
A queen advocating for oppressed people.
We're gonna let people still continue to type in the chat if you haven't already and you have more to say, but we are going to wrap up this portion by inviting everyone to just hold on to the role that you stepped into. I know that in a lot of our work as drama therapists, we're very quick to engage in experience and then de-roll and shake it out. But this, we're asking you to sit with it. If something came up for you that was uncomfortable, we're still asking for you to sit with it and let this role stay with you, your intention stay with you, not just throughout the rest of this call, but as you engage in this work later tonight, tomorrow, as you're sitting in rest, as you're standing, as you're walking, as you're fighting, in whatever way you do this, hold on to your role, to your intention, to your discomfort. Those are all necessary parts of this process.
Thank you so much, Jade and Whitney and Jade. So grateful, particularly for the guided meditation and this metaphor around the stars sort of dancing on us, reminding us, one, that we're not alone, and also they're giving us the energy to fight another day, to wake up and say, oh, okay, I can do this, I can endure just a little while longer. And thank you for reminding us, you both and the group in the community, of the variety of roles that we can play in this movement and how they're also interchangeable, that we can use the ability of having a flexible role repertoire to know when we need to step forward and when we need to step back, when we need to rest and recharge, and then when we need to step back out on the front lines again. So thank you all. And thank you, Jade and Whitney, once again. And now as we transition, we've begun to locate ourselves within this Black Lives Matter and anti-racist movement, but we also must know the function and the quality of our roles. And so we're going to take some time during our virtual protest tonight to go over some demands as a community and some of the action steps that we can be taking. Some of you, for these may be reminders, and for some this may be new, but we just want to review as a community some of the steps we can be taking together. And so from my protest support, when you're ready, would you please share our demand slide? And we can jump to the next slide. I will be reading these aloud, and I encourage you, while remaining on mute, to read along with me and to name and claim these for yourself. So demands supporting Black Lives Matter and anti-racism movements. And I also want to quickly highlight that these demands were cultivated by the Chedid Committee, and these are some of the voices, not all of the voices, and also recognizing that in no way is this list exhaustive. There is always more work to do and more to demand. We demand that you will continue, or you will begin your journey in being unapologetically and actively anti-racist and against white supremacy. This entails understanding your own role in being complicit and that silence is violence. We demand that you will use your identity location and interrogate how this plays into upholding systems of power, privilege, and oppression, the values of white supremacy culture, and other global issues that go hand in hand with racism. For BIPOC, especially non-Black POC, this may entail confronting internalized oppression and colonialism and anti-Blackness in our communities. We demand that you will understand that supporting the Black Lives Matter movement means all Black Lives Matter. We demand that in your fight alongside us, you center Black women, Black trans lives, Black Crip and or disabled lives, and other intersecting marginalized identities. We demand that you will have a sustainable plan of action for the future. The movement demands your work year round. I'll say it again. The movement demands your work year round, not just in this popular trend, but year round. It goes beyond that which transpires after events of Black death, violence, and tragedy. And now we want to bring our demands a bit more specific to the drama therapy community. We demand that the NADPA will continue to uplift BIPOC and LGBTQIA voices within the community by giving all folks a seat at the table. We can truly look at our biases and gaps as an organization and grow into a truly equitable and inclusive community. And I'll add, where folks feel belong. We demand that the NADPA board will continue to do their own personal work, as well as advocate for continued training, workshops, and opportunities for community members to build their cultural humility in order to better support their clients and communities. We demand that all accredited drama therapy training institutions do internal reviews of their staffing, training, and curriculum in order to continue to stay in line with the Drama Therapists Against White Supremacy campaign. Action steps. So these are some of the action steps for Black Lives Matter movement as a whole. Make donations to organizations that facilitate protests, bail funds, and are fighting against the injustice of racism. Adding to that, making sure that you are doing the research on the organization themselves and know where you're donating to make sure that the money is actually going to the folks who need it. Call and send letters to your government officials to address systematic racism. Adding to that, it's not enough to just send the chain email, to do the chain phone call. Begin to personalize it. Begin to locate yourself. Begin to recognize why you're actually emailing and send that personal message forward, also because they are sending the general emails to a spam box. Educate yourself on the movement and the systematic effects of racism. Stop burdening Black people with questions of how can you help. There are organizations, there is Google, there are folks who get paid to do that educating, and not all Black folks want to enroll themselves in doing so. Identify the problems within yourself in terms of your own biases and judgments. We all have them. Change the narrative. Black people, add to research. White people, fund Black people's research. And lastly, just for this list, give space and stop apologizing. Action steps specific to the drama therapy community. Participate on future Chedid diversity and equity calls. This is one of the largest calls, and it is my hope that the numbers will continue to stay here and not return back to 25 and below. Sign up and engage in actions from Drama Therapists Against White Supremacy campaign. Choose and commit to reading the resources outlined in the campaign and in Chedid's position statement on Black Lives Matter. Invite folks from your personal and professional networks to become engaged in future Chedid calls and the Drama Therapists Against White Supremacy campaign, which I hope we are all naming and claiming unapologetically. Diversify leadership so that it reflects those being served and are a part of this organization. And so we've begun to quickly locate some of the demands and action steps, and we ask that you all take heed to those, begin to internalize them, reflecting which steps you can participate in, reflecting what steps you have participated in, and what more that you can do. And we recognize that specifically within action steps, that some of us are allies. Not all of us are Black identifying, and we have to realize it's a complex situation in that sometimes it can be difficult to understand what should I do, when am I overstepping, when am I not overstepping, when should I be acting, when shouldn't I be acting. And so in drama therapy, we explore and validate what the good enough role looks like. As Black folks wake up every day in a life or death reality with no breath promised, we must recognize that the breath that drives our activism must be effective. Our good enough role must be intentional and active. I will now welcome protest leader and ally, Lucy McClellan, who will guide our non-Black POC and white community members on how to be an effective ally. Let's engage in effective action and allyship as Lucy comes.
Thank you, Mary. Hello all, I am Lucy. I am the fool. I'm also your NADTA membership chair, and I am honored to be here tonight. This evening, I will be performing the role of the white ally. I mean, I am white. I'm not performing being white. Metaphorically, I'm white. I am an ally. Well, no, I'm not an ally because we don't say ally anymore. That's not acceptable. We say a friend. I mean, I am a friend. I mean, I've tried to be a friend to people of color. I mean, Black and Indigenous people of color. And breathe. Just breathe. Things are getting complicated. I am the white ally, and I own my critical role in this movement. I am the white ally, and I am listening. I'm the white ally, and I find it really hard to shut up, to not be at the center, to be always the center, to not share my really big feelings of shame and anxiety and my inherent human goodness. I'm good. I want to help. Breathe. Breathe. I am the white ally, and I wish you would trust me, but I understand why you don't. I'm the white ally, and I know I'm late. I am so late. I'm the white ally, and I'm here. I am seen, and I'm loved, and I love. Breathe. I know I can breathe. I get to breathe. So your turn. Now, drama therapists, white allies, use the chat. I am the white ally, and what? Who are you? What are you? Fill the space. Thank you, Laura. I am the white ally, and I am learning to embrace the discomfort. I am fire. I will keep showing up. I am not enough, and I am listening. I am listening. I am listening. I'm showing up. I'm here, I'm present. I need my actions to speak louder than any claim to the role ally. Amen. I'm learning, I'm listening. Please let my mistakes not hold me back. I'm here to follow Black leadership. I'm wanting to learn. I will never know. I am reading new Black writers. I need to remember this isn't about me. It isn't about me. I need to continually listen. Educate my children. Thank you, Alexis. At what cost? At what cost? At any cost, at the cost of the health and the lives of my Black loved ones. Silence is violence. Well, who else is there? Who else is here aside from the white ally? What other roles are here that are showing up tonight? You can write them. You can hold them as you did before. What is on the other side of the white ally? If that role is spent, useless, gone, no longer acceptable, feel free to write that role too. I am narcissistic by the place I have granted myself, and I am unlearning by the desperate late desire. I am the child. I am the cellular white supremacism that has been baked into me. I'm the white anti-racist. Breathe. I am the quiet, shameful family legacy. Breathe. I am Lucy. I am the fool. I am your NADTA membership chair, and I'm truly honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy, and thank you, community. Thank you for engaging in this space, for engaging in what it means to be uncomfortable, to sit in the role of the ally and figure out what work needs to be done. Thank you, Lucy, for stepping up to the plate so that a Black person didn't have to step in to hold this space. Thank you for allowing us to step back and giving us a moment to rest. So we are greatly appreciative of you. And if our protest support team could bring back up our Google slides, some of the TEDx committee have begun to talk about additional ways how to be an effective ally. Again, this is no exhaustive or this list is not definitive. It can go on, and I encourage you to begin to think of ways of how you can add to this list. So it reads, check your own privilege and keep those around you in check as well. Speak up and call out injustices. I might add all injustices, all racism, all microaggressions, and all systems of oppression. Continue to read, listen, and educate yourself. Do not expect, if I was in church, I would say, turn to your neighbor and say, do not expect BIPOC folks to do this labor, including emotional labor. Don't make it about you. Do not expect praise. Familiarize yourself with the terms white fragility, performative allyship, and virtue signaling, and do the opposite of that. Find the counter role. Continue to explore and discover your own biases and gaps in your activism. Know that you will make mistakes and acknowledge your own wrongdoings when being called in or called out. Support and amplify Black voices in education, anti-racism work, art and culture, etc. Support Black-owned small businesses year-round and not just when it's popular. So I'd like to thank once again the TEDx committee for co-creating this list of demands, action steps, and points towards how to be an effective ally. And before we transition to our next protest leader, you all have heard ways to engage, but I recognize that some of you have already begun to engage. And so if our protest support could pull up a poll, you just want to take a minute to check in the community and see what you all have been doing, ways that we can improve. And so we have a quick poll for you all to take. Oh, looks like I have the ability to launch it myself. There we go. And so, relaunch. There we go. And so, why does it keep saying? Every time it says launch, I see what happened. When we transitioned over, our poll did not transition with us. But you know what? That's okay. That is a sign, because that means this work needs to continue. And so I encourage what we're going to do is that after the protest, we will send out the poll and we will invite you all to respond. And it'll be a reminder that the work continues and that it just doesn't end when we press leave meeting. So moving on. Yes, Laura Wood said, love that. Love that for us too. Now we've created a space for white allies to begin to name and locate themselves. And I think it's also important that we create a space for Black identifying folks on this call earlier. As we noted and demanded earlier, we must fight for Black lives, center Black voices, cultivate Black spaces, and encourage Black healing. Next, we welcome our protest leader, Nessa Nazaire, who will do so by leading us in My Black Is. During this creation and sharing of artivism, Nessa will invite folks to remain on camera and utilize the raise hand option. So let's welcome and give it up for Nessa.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn my brightness up. Okay. I encourage everyone to turn everything back into gallery view. So for those who choose to speak, you can see their voices, because this is a 4D experience through Zoom. I just want to preface this by saying that as Black folks, we are often grouped together and generalized, and our individual voices often get lost. But our individuality is what makes us as a group, as a culture, that's what makes us so powerful and so resilient, and what keeps us pushing through this fight time and time again, from 500 plus years ago to now. Before we get into the group poetry creating, whenever you feel like you want to contribute, you're aligned to the piece, feel free to use the raise hand option. It's in the participants at the bottom, and you see raise hand. We'll do 3 segments. My Black is the past, My Black is the present, and My Black is the future. And I will guide you in each of those 3. So while you think of a line, I'm going to read a small piece dedicated to Black women and just my own personal experience as a Black woman living in the USA. Little black girl, be quiet. If you talk too loud, don't notice it. Notice that you're different. Notice that you don't belong. So notice that you found a way in, and in is where you must go. Little black girl, don't start a ruckus, for the first to speak is the first to fall. You could be a star if you follow the script. You could have it all, just wire that jaw tight, but smile all 32 pretty. Nod yes, never no. Didn't you know that your life wasn't your own? Little black girl, shut up. Your face is too loud, your hair is too big, your skin too distracting. Speaking your truth is not worth the trouble. Why don't you whisper instead? Internalize and beg, work for others, not yourself. Why demand to be heard? If you want, it may be your turn someday. Little black girl, be quiet. Secure a future, but don't start a riot. You already take up too much space. And now we will transition over to My Black is the Past. And my line for that is, my black is broken chains, but scarred backs. Jordan, whenever you're ready.
My black is bullet wounds in the body and unhealed hearts.
Thank you. Any other black identifying black participants would like to put in a line? Amber, whenever you're ready.
My black is coming from a people who were strong and fought hard and continue to do so.
Thank you for sharing. Chantel, whenever you're ready.
My black is Haitian independence, 1803. My heritage, my family, me.
Thank you so much. Jade, whenever you're ready.
My black is the labor of my ancestry. Out of many one people, we are one.
Thank you. And Zara, whenever you're ready.
My black is brokenhearted and lion-hearted.
Thank you. And we move on to my black is the present. My black is resilient, fighting the fight of my ancestors. Marissa, whenever you're ready.
My black is trying to find healing in the midst of the fight.
Thank you for sharing. Ivana, whenever you're ready.
My black is, I'm here and I will not be quiet.
Thank you for sharing. Adam, whenever you're ready.
My black is breathing. Even when you try to choke me down and suffocate me, I still breathe.
Thank you, Adam, for sharing. We move on to the last segment. My black is the future. My black is unapologetic, hair growing to the sun, skin glistening in the sun, observing the sun, and smiles that don't hide the pain. Sade, whenever you're ready.
It's Tony.
Oh, sorry.
My black is joy, my black is music, from Nina Simone to Beyonce. My black is rich and wealthy.
Thank you so much. Jasmine, whenever you're ready.
My black is glorious, my black is free.
Thank you. Whitney Bell, please.
My black is the magic of my ancestors' wildest dreams.
Tiffany, whenever you're ready.
My black is undeniable. It will break barriers and stop curses.
Thank you. And Marissa, whenever you're ready.
My black is safe. My black is safe. My black is safe. My black is safe. My black will always be safe. My black Steve will be safe. My black is safe. My black is safe.
Thank you. Dominique, whenever you're ready.
My Black is taking up space unapologetically. My Black is being here in community, building my community, adding to my community, resources, finances. My Black is.
Thank you so much. Dominique, if you're back. If not, Mary, please, whenever you're ready.
Yes, my Black is the future where I can be in a community of a mass full room of Black drama therapists, a community where there's Black supervision, a community where there are a classroom full of aspiring Black drama therapists, where there's Black drama therapy programs at HBCUs and across the country, a place where Black clinicians are centered, where Black students and Black children and Black youth and Black clients and Black patients have representation, where they walk into the group room and they see themselves represented and they say that they feel validated, they feel here, that no harm is done. That is what my Black is in the future.
Thank you. My Black is unbroken homes. My Black is flourishing. My Black is everything under the sun, because my Black is mine. Thank you to all those who shared. Thank you for holding the space. And for our allies, our accomplices, our friends that witnessed this, this is our Black. Help us protect it.
Thank you so much, Nessa, right now. I feel like there's like goosebumps on my skin. Like I feel like I'm radiating at a new level right now. So thank you for holding that space for us. And right now I'm just sending warm wishes to any Black individual, any Black identifying person that isn't on this call right now, that they may feel what you and this community have just manifested right now, that they may know what their Black was in the past, that they may know what their Black is in the present, and what their Black is in the future. And I look forward to cultivating that future with this community and with you all. So thank you, Nessa, again. Moving right along with our protest leaders, we have begun to continue to center Black voices and allow Black folks to take up space. And that's so important during a time where people are constantly trying to silence us and where we're in need of so much Black healing right now. And so next I'd like to invite to center right now is Reverend Jordan Stewart and Reverend Tiffany Birch, who will be providing a sermon for our people. I ask at this time that you'll turn your cameras off, check in that you are still in high non-video participants mode, and that you will keep yourself on mute. So let's receive and center these Black voices, actively listen, and receive a word as Tiffany and Jordan come.
Thank you, Mary. Again, we ask that all participants, if you can, just turn off your video at this time so that we can be centered. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have in mind for you, declares the Lord. They are plans for peace and not disaster, to give you a future filled with hope. This passage today is not just speaking to Christians, but to you as well. Yes, you. You may have had a different type of faith practice or maybe no spiritual belief at all, and I want you to know that's okay. The message can still translate. This is a sermon for our people. Jeremiah 29:11, it says, by far, the scripture that I often turn to in some of the most darkest times. This is what I use. You know, those times like when you had somewhere extremely important to be or something happening in your life and it seemed like every obstacle was stopping you from being where you were supposed to be. I challenge you to never forget the plan today. It's a plan of peace. Peace is described as a state of mutual harmony between people or groups. So this plan for peace does not only involve you, but this plan designed for you. This plan is designed for you, which impacts everyone you may come in contact with, even those we may never even see. This is a sermon for our people.
We are created for a purpose bigger than we can ever imagine. Plans that may look different from what we see in the books. Movies, magazines, social media platforms, and TV shows that we engage. My purpose is bigger and greater. Your purpose is bigger and greater. We are the plans that were given to our ancestors. It is the plan for us to prosper, to grow, to succeed, to flourish, to be healthy, to overcome, to be great and brilliant. The plan is to prosper. And although people may use words of hate to pierce us and manipulate laws to try and slay you, spaces that attempt to steal your joy, systems that were created to oppress your spirits, platforms that try to make you shame your identity. But this scripture reminds us that despite what obstacles that come in our path, it does not change that we are created and you are created to prosper, because we know the plan is for you, just like the sun, to rise again. This is a sermon for our people.
This is a tailor-made, custom-made plan for you. And never forget the plan, even in the midst of disastrous times. The disaster of losing a loved one. The disaster of lack of resources to do the very things you need to do and want to do. The disaster of unsupportive family and friends in your goals and your dreams. The disaster of shifting moments like COVID-19 and the mental health instability that continued to spiral during the pandemic all around the world. Disasters like deaths of Black lives again and again and again and again. Children dying again and again, but never forget the plan. No matter what disasters may come your way, your plan is full of resiliency. Your plan is full of power and strength beyond measure. This is a sermon for our people.
For the plan is not perfect. The plan may not be easy. The plan may cost us. The plan may cost us the people we love, relationships lost, minimum sleep, and much more. But the promise is that in the midst of all that, there is still hope. Hope even in a time like this. Hope that we will continue to learn and prepare generations to come so that they can have a future, and that generations before us has given us, and what they experienced and what we are experiencing now will no longer be. Hope, a word we must carry everywhere and be prepared to unpack in the most darkest times. The plan is not for us to fail, but to continue to have certainty, knowing that our expectations and desires for certain change to happen will and can happen. This sermon is for our people.
This is a plan leading towards peace and hope. The scripture says they are plans of peace, not of
fear.
They are plans of peace, not of
hopelessness.
They are plans of peace, not of
failure.
They are plans of peace, not of
hurt.
They are plans of peace, not disaster.
To give you a future filled with hope.
So never forget the plan. This is a sermon for our people. Black Lives Matter. Thank you. You may now join us back with your videos. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany, and thank you, Jordan. Thank you for reminding us of the plan, and that the plan has always been there. It has always been simple. It is up to us to locate our own purpose and our own selves within this plan. So thank you. I'm holding that with me. And whenever I get discouraged, whenever I feel the hurt more than the peace, whenever I feel the failure more than the peace, I will simply open up my book and return to the plan and keep the course. So thank you. Moving right along, we have our plan, and we recognize that there are a variety of ways in which we show up. And sometimes we can't always physically be in this space. And so now we are bringing to you Yakim Binyamin, who cannot be here with us in this space tonight, but is still active with us as a protest leader, who will be offering us a video piece entitled America Divided. And so I encourage you all again to turn your cameras off, remain on mute, and let us hold space for what he will be bringing us today.
To some, this concept may seem a little crazy, but I just had a son, and imagine your baby growing up and automatically being seen as shady, based off the color of their skin. And details with the cops get hazy, while officers of the law get a little tazy. And even with hands up, don't shoot, they feel those hands got a little too wavy and a shot gets popped. A body falls to the ground with blood pouring out. The black community crying out, this racism is evident, while some may respond, this racism is irrelevant. Wow. In 2020, it's still hard to fathom what it feels like to be black and brown. And I ain't laughing now, because the same hands that could pat me down have been joined by other vigilante clowns. So whether you're in a grocery store getting yoked up because you looked like a shooter, or you're getting a knee rested on your neck while you try and explain you can't breathe, I don't know how many deaths it's going to take for people to believe that things need to change. That the treatment of people of color ain't the same. It's disgusting how many hashtag last names have become a movement because of things that no one should be cool with. Y'all, what are we doing? I can't tell you how many times I've been followed by the cops just walking down the block because I look like a suspect. Or the time I got pulled over with my friend and asked if I played basketball. Why? Because I'm black and tall? Oh, and by the way, it had nothing to do with the stop at all. Or what it feels like to see flashing lights at night because you're not sure whose rights are about to be abused and whose power will be misused. I wouldn't choose this life for anybody. And believe me, I love being black, but we need to understand these calls can't be taken back, nor will an apology erase the trauma. Too many regular occurrences have become a gamble due to these stigmas and stereotypes about people of color that depict us as people you can't trust and people that are hard to handle. For example, like the time when I spent money in the store and didn't get a receipt, and seconds after I walked out, the same person I gave money to called me a thief, took my goods back, left me in disbelief with tears hitting my feet because no one around would believe me. Why? Because of the way they see me, because of images on TV, because of a belief system that hasn't been put down since Jim Crow was around, because of the thing that got into your mind that says somehow, even if I'm on the ground, face down, with hands behind my back or in a docile stance, that I'm more dangerous than a man with a gun in his hand. That I won't understand. There's got to be something else at work here, because the last time I checked, every life matters here on God's green earth, including mine. And it hurts that I have to decide to code switch well enough, push down those emotions welling up, go through the verbal acrobatics well enough to not be seen as a threat so I can avoid my family having to hear of my death. And I'm more than upset, wondering what I don't get. So God, I pray that you judge this one, because I don't know what judge can pass a judgment that equates to real justice, one that gets at the root of racism. Because a slap on the wrist to reprimand what was revealed to the public doesn't address what happens in private or the system that hides it. You want to know why America's still divided? Because I'm not counted as a whole out loud, and I'm still 3/5 to those in silence.
Thank you, Yakeem. We send thanks to him, and we send him love for engaging in these vulnerable truths, for sharing his story with us, for sharing these realities. These aren't just similes, these aren't just prose on a page, but these are what Black folks are living every day. And we must remind ourselves when we begin to think, oh, that was the past, or oh, we've progressed, or oh, we gotten better now, oh, we hired a couple Black folks. There is still more work to be done on an institutional level. It's just not about covert racism. We must begin to dismantle full systems. We must begin to look internally and look at the little ways in which racism affects us on a mental level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level. It is still here, it is still present, and we have work to do. And with that being said, it's important for us to understand what we must do to cultivate as a community for a world that is anti-racist, where police are defunded and communities, schools, mental health, recreation, housing, and food security are instead funded. Our final protest leaders of the evening will be Jasmine Edwards and Adam Stevens. Together, they will cultivate a space for us, our music, our drama, our poetry. I invite you all again to turn your cameras off, remain muted, and hide your non-video participants, and let's journey towards freedom together as they come.
Jasmine.
Hi, Adam.
Jasmine.
My dear one, how are you?
I'm all right. We're here at this Black Lives Matter virtual protest.
We are indeed.
It's making me think, Jasmine. What is your protest?
My protest is music.
Yes.
What's yours?
I'm glad you asked. My protest is, it's drama. So, music, drama. Together, Jasmine, my dear, dear, beautiful Jasmine. What does that make?
I think that might be poetry.
Poetry. Our protest is poetry. And with that, we're going to invite everyone who is on the call right now to co-create poetry with us, inspired by the word protest. Jasmine, while they're thinking about this word protest and how it lands on them, how it connects, how it rejects, all of it, would you serenade us?
Oh, I'd be happy to share a song with you.
You'll play it live right now?
I'll play it live right now.
Beautiful. So we're going to type into the chat here, our protest is. And as Jasmine plays, we invite all of you to offer a thought, a word. Our protest is.
Trying to rain on the thunder, tell the storm I knew. I'm a wall, come and march on the regular, painted white flags blue. Lord, forgive me, I've been running blind and true. I'm a rain on this bitter love, tell the sweet I'm new. I'm telling these tears go and fall away, fall away. May the last one burn into flames. Oh, freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom coming loose, yeah. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I break chains all by myself, but let my freedom riding, yeah. Hey, I'ma keep it running 'cause the wind don't quit on themselves. Hey. Hey, Adam is still there?
Jasmine, I am here. You are not alone. We do this, and we do it together.
What do the people have to say?
Should we offer it to them back? Would that be all right?
Yes.
Our protest is sacred, essential. Our protest, it holds love. Our protests are blacks in drama therapy, being active and causing disruption, being radical and revolutionary. Our protest is freedom. It is urgent. It is ancestral. Our protest is now. Our protest is big. It is loud. It is Black Broadway. Our protest is Black joy and resistance. Our protest starts at the dinner table. Our protest is solidarity. Our protest is community. Jasmine, our protest begins with you. Our protest begins with me. Our protest is here. Our protest is now. At this time, we welcome everyone to come back on screen. Join us. Join us in this protest.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Adam, for reminding us of why we do this, who we are doing it for, and what it looks like. What a great way to wind down and come to the conclusion of our program, of reminding us that this protest is never ending, that we will continue to do this work, and that protest is active. It's more than a noun, it's a verb, and so thank you for your offering. And before we get to the end of our program, we want to do our closing remarks and our thank yous first, because we like to end together in action and united. And so first, I would like to just thank you all so much for showing up today. It truly means a lot to the Black community. I'll speak for myself, it means a lot to me. It needs to happen. It means a lot to the NADTA. It means a lot to the Chadic committee, because there's work to be done. There's been harm within this community, and showing up demonstrates that you're taking one step towards repairing that harm. And so I'm grateful, I am appreciative. I thank you all for entrusting me to hold you all and guide you on this journey tonight. I thank you all for entrusting the ancestors to sit here with me. I'd specifically like to thank Sarah. Sarah, thank you for this vision. Thank you for bringing this idea to the Diversity Dialogue Committee. I'd like to thank the Chadic Committee themselves for the work that you've put in on making this happen. I'd like to thank Adam, the president of Chadic, our chair of Chadic. I said president, I was claiming something. I was speaking something into existence. I'd like to thank you so much for your guidance and your support and your supervision during this time. I'd like to thank our protest leaders. Without you all, this would not be possible. I would not be holding and feeling how I am without you all today, and the journey that we've been on in the past week and a half. And so I'm grateful for all of you. And I am grateful for our protest support, Jess Orenze, Linda Soria. Without you all, this would not have been possible. You made this evening run smoothly. When white supremacy was coming in the form of technical difficulties, y'all stepped in, y'all jumped on it, and y'all conquered it. And so we are grateful for you. We appreciate you. And thank you all again for showing up. I believe I've done all the thank yous. If not, charge it to my head and not my heart. And now I want to pass it over to Adam to do some closing remarks before we engage in our checkout and closure together.
So I recognize that it is 9:57 Eastern Standard Time PM. And guess what? Here in this protest, we're just going to take up more space, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to take up space. We're here to be heard, and we are here to be seen, particularly the Black drama therapists that are here on this call. And what a wonderful thing to see so many beautiful Black faces on this screen. And what a wonderful thing to see so many others on the screen as well. We had nearly 140 participants join us tonight on our Black Lives Matter virtual call, with the support of the Cultural, Humanity, Equity, and Diversity Committee, with the support of the NADTA and the NADTA Board of Directors. We are here. Trust. And we are not here to be quiet. We are here to be loud. So, it's been mentioned many times, yeah? that this work does not stop tonight. It does not stop in a month when the trend of Black Lives Matter dies down a bit and your feeds go back to normal in your social media. This continues. This continues. Guess what? This continues. So we've shared with you our stories. You've been guided on how to be a white ally. We've even furnished you with some action steps. Look at us. Aren't we thorough? Now it's up to everyone here to do the work. And we can't do it alone. We have to do it together. We encourage you to engage in conversations that are difficult, conversations that are messy, conversations that are uncomfortable. We encourage you to participate in the Drama Therapists Against White Supremacy campaign. Check your bias, check yourself. Also, celebrate the joy that we have experienced tonight, because it's not just the suffering that we witnessed. We also witnessed a great deal of joy. And I want to thank once again all the protest leaders for giving your time, for giving yourselves. I want to thank the Charter Committee for showing up and producing this wonderful event. I want to thank Mary Elizabeth Morris for guiding this event tonight. And I want to thank all of you for showing up. 140 participants. Next time, let's get 150. Let's get 200, am I right? All right. So with that, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it back to Mary. Have a good night.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for manifesting. Let's allow Adam's vision to come into fruition on this next. Yes, let's get all 1,000 in. Adam has so beautifully sort of summarized the journey that we went on tonight and how we've been guided, how we've been held, how we've released. And so I want to hear from you all in the chat. What are you taking with you tonight? What are you leaving with? What are you going to continue to hold as we end our time together in this space, but recognizing that the atmosphere and the environment and the action continues. We claim it, the power of community, joy, hope, solidarity, love, the joy, the rage, to rebuild our divide, work, equity in drama therapy, being seen and heard, changes in the DT community, Black drama therapist voices. I am enough in that sweet, sweet spirit. This is beautiful work, love and support, emphasizing that this is us, and let's get 1,000 doesn't just mean Chedick or the protest leaders or NADTA. Keep working all year long, commitment to the work. Yes, work, poetry, solidarity. Keep going, keep growing, beauty. Oh, they're coming in so fast. Change, stamina, intersectionality. Everyone joining to disrupt responsibility and action. And we recognize that what we're holding and what we're taking can be endless because we've been filled with an abundance tonight. And so we'll pause it right here in this moment. And so we've begun to name what we're taking with us. But now I want to know, what action step are you specifically taking this evening? What is one tangible thing that you can do in the next week, that you can wake up and do tomorrow? As we said, we offered a variety of action steps. So I invite you to use the chat right now to engage in and name what you are taking with you. We can't sit in the play space and work to reduce harm and make our clients feel safe enough, but then de-roll and refuse to say enough is enough. That's a breach of client trust. So our advocacy is a must. We must keep going. No more silence, no more performative activism. Speak up. Finish part 3 of DTs Against White Supremacy. Google is your friend. Strength and energy. the inspiration and fire to keep working to support and promote every beautiful member of this community. Center Black mental health and drama therapy training in academia and beyond. Conversation with other therapists about abolition. Yes, yes. Continue to work with Leslie Drama Therapy to ensure DEI in education, research, and community. Talk to my kids. It starts with the future. Had that hard conversation with grandma. Come on, tell grandma. Build more accountability for myself and my white community, centering Blackness and supervision, amplifying Black stories, continued learning the history that was whitewashed, uniting Black drama therapists across continents, yes, sharing resources. And we recognize that this list also goes on and on. There are so many ways for us to get involved, but thank you all for naming and claiming what you all are going to do in the next week. I look forward to seeing how that manifests and how that actionizes in our community and beyond. And so we are coming to the end of our program. And in protest fashion, I think it is important that we end together. And so I invite you all, if you're not already, if you can, to come on camera, to place yourself in gallery view. And we're gonna engage in some final protest chants together. So first, I wanna center my Black folks, my people. And so I wanna invite us all to come off mute. And we're gonna say together this chant. And so I'll say it a couple times, and once you feel like you have it, come on and join in. I said I love being Black. I love the color of my skin, and it's the skin that I'm in. I said I love being Black. I love the color of my
skin.
Okay, I said I love
being Black.
Being Black.
The
Of my skin.
I love
that I'm in. One more time, I said
I love being Black.
being Black.
I love the color of my skin.
I love the skin I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh, the Zoom, I love the effect. I just kept hearing, I love being Black, being Black, being Black. So yes, my people, take that with you. Stand unapologetically in your Blackness, in your skin, in your color. And now I want to invite all of us in this space together as we engage in some activism chants together. And so we'll start with no justice.
No
peace. No justice.
No peace.
Justice.
No peace.
No peace. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Enough.
Enough.
Enough
is
enough. Enough is enough. Say Black lives, you say
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
All together, Black
lives
matter. That we say, that we name, we hold it, we claim it unapologetically, all times. Black lives matter. All Black lives matter. Don't y'all forget it. And to that, I say ashe and good night.
Ashe.